Redemption is possible. Thank you, Dad, for teaching me that redemption is possible. My biological father, I never forget, I had come to his house in Atlanta, and he had just purchased a new motorcycle. We were probably into, 3 or 4 months into what the doctors has said would only be a year left of his life. And he says, I had just taken my motorcycle class and got my motorcycle license. I was so excited to go visit my dad. I had already rode one of my friend Bob's bike and dropped that bike. Sorry, Bob. Love you, brother. And Bob was like, get back on, brother. Get back on and ride. And so I rode and I got more comfortable. So when I went to Atlanta, my dad was like, listen, I'm going to let you ride my bike. I was like, okay. He says, but I'm going to take you to a big parking lot. So he said, get on the back. I'm like, okay, I ain't never been on the back of a motorcycle. And I'm going to tell you, I was scared for my life. Not because my father drove, erratically or crazy. I just had never been on the back of a motorcycle. And it was like putting my whole life in my father's hands. And I'm holding on and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's doing a great job. We get to the parking lot. I'm riding around, starting slow. I'm getting more comfortable. And all of a sudden, my dad says to me, man, take it out on the street and then get on the highway. And I'm like, what? He was like, man, you got this, Rick. You a natural. And it was something about the way he said it, boy, gave me some courage. Got there on the street, got to the highway, and I loved it. We then got back on the motorcycle. He rode me back to the house. And I was like, Dad, I just got to ask. Have you ever rode somebody on the back before? You seem so comfortable and natural at it. And he was like, no, I've never rode anyone on the back of the motorcycle. I said, what? He said, man, listen, I knew, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to be nervous. He said, but I knew I wouldn't let you fall. And it was something about the way he said that I knew it was beyond just about the motorcycle. My father was sick, but he was still able to hold up the motorcycle and me and himself. And it was in that moment I had this epiphany, this revelation that God had finally answered my prayers. The ones I've been praying almost my whole life, that I would have this father who was caring and supportive and this father that was dependable. And now he had become that father in his last year of his life. It was in that moment I realized redemption is possible for anyone. No matter how bad you've messed up, no matter how far you think you've gone, no matter how distant, no matter how many mistakes and failures that you've made over and over again, if you put in the work, redemption is possible. I learned that from my father. And I learned that it's not over until it's over. And maybe for somebody you need to hear that. If there's still time, you're still breathing, you're still here, it may be hard, it may be difficult. Maybe they don't trust you at first. But just like my father, you keep putting in the time, you keep being consistent, redemption is possible. And I am so grateful that my father had taught me that. Because there are people who literally commit suicide. There are people who are isolated. There are people who are separated from families and friends and people who love them and the people that they love, all because they don't think redemption is possible. You can be restored. You can have a new relationship. You can be reconciled. If that's for you today, I want to know, who has taught you about redemption? Who in your life have you seen be redeemed from a mistake, from a failure, from something bad that happened, and you've seen them get back on top, get back in the game? You've seen them pick themselves back up after some addiction, after some bad thing, some divorce, and you saw them pick themselves back up and you saw them put in the work, and you thought in your mind, wow, redemption is possible. If that is you this week, I want you to share that with me. Please share that on my social media pages. I want to hear from you. I want you to know this was an excerpt from chapter 17. Yes, chapter 17 of my book, Some Things Are Worth Fighting For, about my forgiveness and reconciliation with my Father. I promise you, go get that book, drrickymccrae.com. Go to drrickymccrae.com, and I promise you, it will bless your life. I'm hearing testimonies about how there are people who are restoring their relationships with fathers, friends, exes, and all of that. So listen, I want you to go get that. It's going to be a blessing to you. And then also, I wrote another book. And this book is What's All the Fuss Over Mr. Wilson? Listen, as it is Black Friday, go get the book. This is a wonderful book about explaining the importance of Christmas and why Jesus had to come and his sacrifice. And so I wrote this book really when I was trying to help my daughters understand Christmas when they were little. And so I said, I got to turn this into a book, and it has been blessing people all over the world. I just want to be a blessing to you. We've sold many copies. I want you to be blessed. I also have a song, a Christmas song called The Meaning of Christmas. Go and stream Meaning of Christmas. Go download it. I promise you it's going to be your new Christmas. I hope it's your new Christmas song, Meaning of Christmas. And so I'm so grateful to be able to share these things with you. I love you. I'm thinking about you, praying for you on today and the rest of this week. I pray you enjoyed your Thanksgiving and you will move forward with a heart of gratitude today. Listen, this is your time. Don't give up on those relationships. Take advantage of your moments. Continue to love your family and friends and be with them. Because there are some things worth fighting for. God bless you.